Carroll, one of Marshall's biggest hitters from 2017 to 2021, has been named the assistant coach for Marshall softball. So a little bit of a revenge game out here tonight. I'm expecting another good one as Marshall has returned quite a bit of its players. Want to come here? Hey, I'm actually joined here with Athletic Director Christian Spears. We're live right now. Yeah, just tell everybody how great it is out here, Christian.
Hey, this is something you need to come out to.
We saw another familiar face at Pro Day today as well. NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore. He was there to support his little brother, Steven.
How great is it that you did find something like this where you can continue playing baseball but also touch the lives of kids?
It's the best.
I just want to say no one could have predicted that Virginia upset. Just saying that now, okay? My bracket still very much alive, but that one, no. He's headed to the historic bank. Adam Schefter broke the news tonight that Joe Burrow is now the highest paid player in NFL history.
And I'm just so happy for this Hoover community and these Huskies who were state runner-ups last year, by the way, with no football field. So who knows what's going to happen now.
Word of the week, where I give you a word, you give me the definition of it, okay? Okay. This week's word of the week is red zone. Can you tell me what the red zone is? Of the football team? Regional championship play is underway. Cabell Midland here at the reigning Class AAA state champ site, going head-to-head in game one of a best-of-3 series with the winner punching their ticket to next week's state tournament.
Bumped into any of the players that are there for the tournament in the time you've been there today?
Oh yeah, Mayor. I mean, we got to watch Phil Mickelson play a little bit earlier. And actually, when I was walking down here for my live shot, we ran into Cameron Smith. And, you know, that Australian player, man, I'm a big fan of his. So definitely geeked out a little bit. Saw Brooks play. He's actually coming up on the 18th here in a minute. So just wild seeing all those big names here in West Virginia.
This just in, the Bengals have drafted Miles Murphy, defensive end from Clemson.
All right.
You can keep wearing orange.
Keep wearing orange.
Lightning has been striking around the field. I just spoke to Athletic Director Bruce Sr., who said they're not allowed to come to the field until 30 minutes after that last lightning strike. So they're going to wait, and then they get an hour and 15 minutes to warm up.
For the first time since WVU announced Josh Eilert would be interim head coach of Mountaineer basketball, we hear from Bob Huggins. Huggins wrote a letter labeled media statement, saying in part that he hasn't been responding to the situation because he's checked himself into a rehabilitation center, but now he's responding. Huggins says in the letter sent out Monday afternoon that he's now obtained counsel to review his employment agreement, and it is now clear that WVU, quote, did not handle the situation appropriately. The 2023 NFL Draft starts tomorrow, and here behind me, you guys, is actually the draft site down there in downtown Kansas City. You can see they've been setting it up all day today, setting up that stage. It is really an exciting time where college ball players find out what city they'll play for at the next level. And here are some of our local guys to watch out for.
Hey guys, we're live right now in the Charleston Coliseum as Ripley is taking on the #1 seed North Marion in this Class AAA semifinal game, and this has been a wild one. The Huskies came out on an 11-0 run and ended that first quarter up 18-4. The full court press just really hurting Ripley, but then something happened in that second quarter. Ripley hit a basket, then got a steal, took it down for a score, and then hit a three-pointer and went into halftime up 1. Thundering Herd has been a force to reckon with all season long, finishing that regular season 15-2, then sweeping the conference honors. Matthew Bell collecting Offensive Player of the Year, Dugan collecting Defensive Player of the Year, and Perota collecting Goalkeeper of the Year. So this Marshall team has been in the top 10 pretty much all season long. A tough loss tonight for Huff's Herd. Marshall football came down here to Raleigh to face ACC foe NC State and came up short tonight. The final 48-41. The Herd is now 4-1 and will roll on to conference play. Now this one was a total shootout from beginning to end. On NC State's first drive of the game, they got picked off. Cabell Midland's J.J. Roberts on that interception.
The Detroit Lions, you guys, take down the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs, by 1 point.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, fine. All right.
We're
I didn't think I was going to make it through that game.
Hey guys, we're here in Huntington from the Cam Henderson Center where the Marshall women's basketball team just took down Salem big. The final score 115-56. This one a statement win for the Herd, who is now sitting at 500 at 4-4. Marshall came out on a roll, going on a 10-2 run fast. We're standing on the 17th hole right now. I'm going to step out of the way though, because Brooks Koepka is about to Chip, I'm pretty sure. We had a little fiasco, couldn't find a ball for a second, but here he is on the green. Obviously one of the biggest names in golf across the world.
Tyson Bagent grew up in Martinsburg, then played at the Division II level for Shepherd University up in the Eastern Panhandle. Pat, you mentioned tonight the Bears take on the Vikings in Monday Night Football. This will be the second time these two teams go head-to-head this season. The last time was on October 15th when Bears starting quarterback Justin Fields dislocated his thumb, so Bagent entered the game in the third quarter. He then got his first official NFL start against the Raiders that following week and won the game 30-12. He then stayed the starting quarterback for the next 3 games, finishing 2-2 during that stretch. He beat the Raiders and the Panthers and dropped games to the Chargers and the Saints. Bagent is just the 4th Division II quarterback to start in the pros in the past 20 years and the first in over a decade. He's also the first West Virginia-born quarterback to win an NFL game since Joe Gilliam did it in 1974. Bagent says growing up in West Virginia and playing at Shepherd helped create a foundation for success in the NFL because of the people around him and their influence on the work ethic he's built.
I just think I had a lot of good people around me, and I was just always obsessed with just workload. So just working my ass off every single day. And then, because, people go to Shepherd every year, but not a lot of people from that level especially make it to the league. So just a high work ethic, I think, thanks to a lot of the people I look up to in my life, and it all worked out, and I was ready to roll.
When those people that I grew up around say something like, I really like the way your team plays, or, your dad would be proud if he saw your team play, that means more to me than just about anything.
Nick Saban has never shied away from putting West Virginia and his upbringing in the spotlight. He's very proud of where he came from and proud of the friends and family that have helped him get to where he is today.
People back here, back in Monongah and Marion County, we certainly love to hear stories about Nick Saban and how well he does.
Roman Prezioso was a senior at Monongah High when Nick Saban was a sophomore. Saban was playing ball for his dad and Pop Warner during his freshman year, then joined the Monongah football team his sophomore year. At the time, the team didn't have the best record. Prezioso, a captain, made a suggestion.
We're probably not going to win a whole lot of games with this quarterback. We said, what about this Saban kid? He comes from a football family. His dad was a coach. He's been tutored ever since he was a kid. We put him in, and we didn't lose a game the rest of the year.
From there, Saban kept growing, on and off the field.
He was the coach on the field when we played the high school. I mean, he called all the plays.
He was a leader, not just in football. He was just a leader. So he just, the way he conducted himself, and that's the way his dad raised him.
By senior year, the Monongah High football team was a powerhouse.
We were single A, and we played several AAA schools. We beat Bridgeport, which was number 1 in AAA at the time. We won 40-0.
The team went all the way to the 1968 Single A state championship game, a game that meant more than what was happening between the white lines.
There was a lot of emotions there, and the reason it was, I'll go back and tell you, the reason it was because of the number 9 mining disaster.
On November 20th, 1968, the number 9 mine in Marion County exploded, killing 78 miners.
When the number 9 mine blew up, we had friends and family that all got killed in the mines, and I'll never forget that day of them coming into school and calling for some of the kids to come out of class because their dad was underground.
Community members flooded that state championship game looking for an escape.
They brought a lot of people together. Like I said, there was 5,000 people at that game, and I think that was probably some of the reason.
Monongah went on to beat Payton City 21-12 in that state title game, but it wasn't necessarily that victory that was most important that night.
I feel like we never really celebrated it because of when it happened, and number 9 was a lot more important than winning a state championship.
Humble beginnings, creating an even more humble coach.
He was a coach all the way through my lifetime, but I really never expected him to be as big as he is, but I always hoped he would be.
7 national championships, 11 SEC titles, and a 292-71 overall record. And Nick Saban never forgot where he came from, welcoming anyone from Monaga to Alabama games.
I mean, a lot of people from Monaga go, and he treats them, very generous. Field passes. I mean, he's a really. He treats the people from West Virginia really, really well.
Over 5 decades of coaching this game, and now it's time to turn the page.
We're getting up in age now. We're in our 70s. That team that back in high school when we were 16 to 17 years old, all of a sudden we're in the 70s. And a lot of us aren't around right now for one reason or the other. So, it's just great to see one of our guys elevate to what Nick did.